Hey, what up anyone is watching? This is View with Ice and I'm currently working on a few different videos, but they are gonna take some time to get together. So in the meanwhile, I will just drop something very casual. This will just be a video that includes some of the most action-packed anime that you should be watching right now. These picks are some very obvious choices in anime that I've mentioned on a few different occasions, but I'm dropping this anyway just for the sake of consistency. Sakamoto Days is the most current anime in this video. It is still in its ongoing phase, but for what has already been released, it is more than worthy of your time. We look at a former elite hitman with a highly infamous reputation who suddenly stopped his killing after he fell in love with a woman. He would then start a family, gain some weight, open a convenience store and leave his other life behind him. Well, that was until other hitmen started trying to assassinate him and he had to somewhat revert back to his old ways in order to keep him and his family safe. In the grand scheme of things, Sakamoto Days is nothing incredibly special, but it is for sure something fun that you won't easily get tired of.
せいぜい吠えとけ。だからせめて。一振りの剣の。
Think of Black Clover and Mashle, or maybe even just Mashle excluding the parody elements, and you will get Wistoria, Wand and Sword. We have someone who lives in a world filled with magic but has no actual magical talent, but his ridiculous amount of training has made him powerful enough to fight magical users on equal footing. Our MC Will Sheffield has a childhood friend who has become a very talented mage, and he has made it his mission in life to get strong enough to reunite with her. The plot of this show is basic shonen, but it is still highly enjoyable, and it being fantasy related and not being an isekai is a big bonus for me. This one could be a mixed bag for some people, or maybe just those DB fans who refuse to watch anything other than Dragon Ball Z. But I must say, Daima is actually a really fun watch. Dragon Ball Daima has a plot that shares some similarities to Dragon Ball GT, but unlike GT, this is considered to be canon. And the thing is, Daima is directly connected to the ending of Dragon Ball Z, as the storyline picks up right after the defeat of Buu and is also connected to Buu. I would highly suggest some of you guys who are still reluctant to dive into this show really try it out, because this kind of feels like the OG Dragon Ball in some ways. Z and Super lacked the adventure aspect that came with the original, but here with Daima, we actually have that feeling of adventure other than solely focusing on the power-ups. The third season of Fire Force is almost upon us, so it is time to have a big recap. Fire Force takes place in a time where humans have gained the ability to use pyrokinesis, and also where humans spontaneously combust and turn into infernals, which are these dangerous fire monsters. So this is where the Fire Force comes in, who are firefighters who takes the phrase fighting fire with fire quite literally. And then we have our MC Shinra, a new recruit to the fire brigade who has the ability to ignite his feet. Shinra has the goal of becoming a hero and saving people from fires, since he could not save his family from a fire when he was a child. As you can see, Fire Force has solid animation and no pun intended has some really explosive fight scenes. Also, if you have ever had the chance of watching Soul Eater and you liked it, chances are extremely high that you will love Fire Force. Japan is under constant attack by kaiju, but fortunately there are qualified people to defend the world against these monsters called the Defense Force. And now, you would think that our MC would be part of this prestigious group, but you would be wrong because Kafka works with the cleanup crew for the aftermath of kaiju fights. He wants to be a Defense Force member but has failed the test on multiple occasions, but his life would suddenly change when he gets turned into a human kaiju hybrid. And now with his new power helping him out, he secures a spot in the Defense Force, and in doing so, he gets closer to fulfilling a promise he made to his childhood friend. Of course, a second season of this epic show has already been confirmed. The first season didn't lack any excitement, and I'm pretty sure the upcoming season won't be pulling any punches. I am most likely in the minority of people who doesn't like Power Rangers, so when I initially saw the poster for this anime, I ignored it, but ultimately I decided to check it out and I was pleasantly surprised. Because Go-Go Loser Ranger isn't a story about the so-called heroes, this is a story about the villain. We take a look at a monster named Fighter D, who has had enough of constantly fighting the Dragon Keeper, so he transforms himself into a human and infiltrates their ranks to try and kill them. But the thing is, D isn't really that powerful, so his mission to take out the Dragon Keepers turns out to be far more difficult than he initially planned, but his struggle for success is highly entertaining and it also delivers some surprisingly good fights. I know people have a lot of respect for Kaiju No. 8, but with how the first seasons of both of these shows went, I feel Go-Go Loser Ranger is just as good. Action, comedy, sci-fi, and the supernatural. That is what you can expect when you open up your eyes to Dandadan. Our story here follows Ken and Ayashi's adventures as they explore supernatural and sci-fi related situations, which all started when they had a difference of opinion concerning the existence of aliens and supernatural entities. So to prove that both of them were telling the truth, they each sent each other to different locations either related to aliens or the supernatural. At the end of the day, they are both correct, and that starts off a very exciting, weird, terrible, emotional, colorful, romantic, and comedic adventure. This is essentially a full package anime. It has everything you need to get instantly hooked. I think I'm gonna close this video off with solo leveling. The story here takes place in a world where humans with supernatural abilities are becoming a thing of the norm. Most people who have acquired these special abilities use their powers to fight monsters in other dimensions which are accessible through portals, and they are called hunters. Jinwoo, our MC, is also a hunter, but he has the weakest rank, but that would quickly change after he went through a brutal ordeal in a dungeon and came out with a very unique ability of being able to level up almost like a video game character. His main goal is to find a cure for his mother's illness, but now that Jinwoo has had a taste of what looks like unlimited power, will that be his only goal? At the current moment, I cannot think of a better recommendation when it comes to something where you will find absolutely no shortage of accents. Solo leveling is basically an accent junkie's wet dream. But hey, I think that is enough for this video. This is View with Eyes. Please like, subscribe, share, do whatever you need to do so we can get to that 1000.